So welcome everyone. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High. We're going to go into the scriptures and look at Colossians 3:17. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We say that's his name forever and a memorial to all generations. And we're in a generation now. So he's a memorial to all generations. Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father. Bahasham Mashiach Yahweh Shai. So all that we say and do, we ask Hamashiach Yahweh Shai to go to the Most High on our behalf to give us guidance and leading us in the right direction to understand the Holy Spirit, bring forth the scriptures to edify ourselves this evening. Let's look at Numbers, the 10th chapter, the 10th verse. This is a special day for us. We as the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. It's amazing how, some hopefully coming back, some still, not really looking at our ability to rehearse the righteous acts. That's why we got to really look at this and I give all praise and glory for those that's still involved in trying to do what's right as we rehearse the righteous acts. Numbers 10:10. Also in the day of your gladness, and in the solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your power, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am the Most High, your power. So these are the days in honoring the Most High and the days that he gave us to identify our holy days. It's the beginning of the month, the first day of the month. Whereas Esau has his first day of the month, whenever it is, it's not coinciding with the Most High's first day of the month. Because this is the first day of the month, where we call it the new moon feast. And this was, like you see us here, right? In Numbers, but when you go to Psalms, the 81st chapter, go to Psalms 81. You'll see when it was ordained. It wasn't ordained during the time we was in the wilderness, but it was ordained at this time. In Psalms 81, we'll start at the first verse. It says, sing aloud unto the Most High, our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the Most High, power of Jacob. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel. These are musical instruments. The pleasant harp, which is just like the piano, with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. See, it's the new moon. This is our solemn feast day. Whose feast day? The children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. It says, for this was a statute for Israel. See? It was a statute for Israel and a law of the Most High power of Jacob. See, this is a law that we're supposed to follow and do because we're rehearsing now and we're going to do this, you're going to find out, in the kingdom. We're going to honor the new moon feast. This is the first day of the month. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the Most High, power of Jacob. You see, this is a law of the Most High, power of Jacob. See? It says, this he ordained, this the Most High ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt where I heard a language that I understood not. You know? So he went throughout Egypt, and whatever they were saying, he said, I ain't understand what they were saying. Because you know the Most High got he got a sense of humor. He said he went through Egypt, and whatever they were saying, he said he didn't understand it at all. Because when you go to Genesis, I believe it's the 11th chapter, and you read verse 1, it says, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech, and that was Hebrew. And see, and Nimrod built a tower. I'm not going to go through it all because we got other scriptures to go over. Nimrod built a tower to go up to the sky, and he had all the nations following him. He was a great hunter, a great man, mighty man. And people still honoring and worshiping Nimrod to this day. But he built this tall tower up in the sky because he said, the Most High, if he reigned upon the earth like he reigned on the earth 40 days and 40 nights and killed everybody but Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives, 8 people, so they can run up in this tower and save themselves, right? So, but he telling you, letting you know he didn't know the scriptures because the Most High said he put the rainbow in the sky to remind himself that he's not going to flood the earth. He's going to burn it up. He coming with fire, the other purifying element, water and fire. He's coming with the fire this time. So when you look at verse 5, Genesis 11:5, in the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, because he there too, came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Most High said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language. See, confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Well, you get all these different languages. So the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. See? Therefore is the name of it called Babel, or Babel, which is Babal in Hebrew, which is confusion. Because the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Most High scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. See? So that's where the languages was changed. And the Most High, that's why he said, he came down, when you look at Psalm 81 and 5, he said, this he ordained Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. Because the Most High dealing with Hebrew. He's dealing with the ancient Hebrew. Look, it didn't say, I didn't see Aramaic. When I looked at Mashiach Yahushua when he came down and met Paul on the road to Damascus, I didn't see Aramaic. Let's see what, if we can find out what language he spoke when he met Paul in Acts 26 and 14. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, not Aramaic or any other language, saying in the Hebrew tongue, the Hebrew language, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And I said, who art thou, Adawan? And he said, I am a Mashiach Yahushua who now persecuted. Because he was persecuting the people that was calling on by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So therefore he was persecuting a Mashiach Yahushua. And that's what he's letting them know. But my point is, when he came to the earth, he spoke Hebrew. So let us look at this. Go to Numbers 28 and 11. Go through some scriptures to show you that this is what we were doing And before you go there, go to Judges 5:11. I want to make sure that you understand what we're doing and coming back to our culture, to our way of life. And to the best of our ability, this is what we're doing. And this was required of us. Judges 5:11, it says, they that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Most High. So we're rehearsing the righteous acts of the Most High, his laws, statutes, commandments, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Most High go down to the gates. And that's where the leaders were. So he's telling us that we're supposed to be going to the leaders. You're supposed to be going to the leaders to be able to find out how you're supposed to rehearse right. The proper way to rehearse. Go to Numbers, 28th chapter. And we're going to look at the 11th verse. Numbers 28 and 11. Numbers 28 and 11. And in the beginnings of your months, ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the Most High, 2 young bullocks, and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot, and 3/10 deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, sound like a roast to me, for 1 bullock, and 2/10 deals of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, for 1 ram. And a several 10th deal of flour mingled with oil for a meat offering unto 1 lamb, for a burnt offering of a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Most High. And their drink offerings shall be half an hin of wine unto a bullock, and the 3rd part of a hin unto a ram, and a 4th part of a hin unto a lamb. This is the burnt offering of every month throughout the months of the year. So the first day of the month, this is what we done. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering unto the Most High shall be offered, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. So this is what we done in the past. Now, we as the children of Israel, we got to fall into Romans 12 and 1. Understand this. That was symbolic for HaMashiach Yahushua, because he is that lamb of the Most High that was sacrificed for the sins of the children of Israel. That's why we can repent and come back to the Most High, because HaMashiach Yahushua's precious blood was shed for the children of Israel. Now here's something for us in Romans 12 and 1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High. See, the mercies. That's not getting something that you deserve many times. By the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. So we got to present our bodies a living sacrifice. Like just like tonight, some of you might have could have been doing other things, but here you are, right here, honoring, coming back to our culture, honoring a new moon. It says that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Sacrifice is giving up something to obtain something that's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. Because giving up something just for yourself or whatever, that don't mean anything to the Most High. He wants you to give up something that it will pertain to him. That he can look at it, it can be written in the books. Look what they're doing. And the sacrifice is our bodies. That has to be what? First he say what? Holy. That means true and pure. And following the commandments of the Most High. Acceptable unto the Most High. You're not going to be acceptable to the Most High and you're wicked. You're doing things that are off, that's not, of the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, and having faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, going to the Most High on our behalf. The Most High is consuming fire. So we have to do the will of the Most High. And what's acceptable to the Most High? 2 Timothy 2:15. One of the things that's acceptable to the Most High. 2 Timothy 2:15. Hold that in Romans 12:1. 2 Timothy 2:15. Says, study to show thyself, which is yourself, approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. That means precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. It's a book of life. It's showing us how to live righteously in the eyes of the Most High. That's why it says, first thing he said was holy. Then he said, acceptable unto the Most High in Romans 12. Then it said, which is your reasonable service. It's your reasonable service. See, that's the least you can do, you know? It's your reasonable service. Whereas people will come up with their own way of how they want to serve the Most High, how they want to serve him when he said, hey, you got to present your bodies a living sacrifice. I mean, even though you don't feel good sometimes, you still got to do this work. You got to be doing something besides something for yourself, for someone else. And that's what this is about. This is it right here. A living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to the Most High, which is your reasonable service. What he say? And be not conformed to this world. How many people are conformed to this world? In their religions? I mean, and it's like, you know, a lot of people, they might not know it, but they dealing with a religious type of mindset, even calling themselves a Hebrew Israelite. That's why it says what it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. Renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. That's how you're going to do this. But you're not going to do it if you don't study to show yourself approved to the Most High, to know how this Bible is a puzzle. And you can't just put it together yourself. That's why he already had men that came on this earth to teach this word. That's why you got to study. And you're not going to get this listening. Y'all come to the conference call, you come here in the flesh, you think you're gonna get this just listening, you're not gonna get it just listening. It's too much. You didn't learn math by listening. You didn't learn how to read by listening. Right? You didn't learn history by just listening. You had to take notes. And some of you that went further than the 12th grade, your first year in college, all you did was read, and take notes, and this, that, and the third. So here you come into the truth, you think you're going to get it because you done sat in the church and heard 3 scriptures for the whole sermon. Every time I ask somebody, what did they preach about? I don't know, but the choir sure sound good. All the time I'm like, well, what did the preacher preach about? They can't really give you no explanation. In detail, I mean. And you're not going to get this in detail. That's why you got to take notes. You got to know, if you don't know how to take notes, then you need to ask how to take notes so you can be able to have this. Because when it comes down to you having to give it to someone else, how you going to give it to someone else if you don't know how to break these scriptures down? Let's look at 2 Chronicles 2 and 4. We're just going to go and look at how we were in this. We were all about this. You know, this is something that we're doing now and we're going to continue to do in the kingdom. You have those that say, nah, you don't have to do it. Don't do it. As for me, I'm going to do exactly what he said we're supposed to be doing as much as I can. Think about it, okay, put it like this. People never done it, but then they don't honor it, but then they think they're gonna be in the kingdom learning how to do it. And they call themselves Hebrew Israelites now. That's something to think about.